Hope for some cancer patients with the launch of a new clinical trial for a form of the disease caused by asbestos. The trial could lead to a new treatment for mesothelioma, which is a type of cancer which can take more than 40 years to develop and usually follows the inhalation of asbestos fibres. Well, Professor Kevin Blyth from the University of Glasgow, who leads the Predict Meso network, which aims to develop treatments for the condition, joins me now. Kevin, just begin by telling us what mesothelioma is and who gets it.
Morning, Graham. It's very difficult to say, isn't it? That's the first challenge. So mesothelioma, it's as you said, it's a cancer really driven by asbestos in someone's past. So in Scotland, we have areas of Scotland have the highest incidence of the disease, unfortunately, anywhere in the world. It develops in the lining around the lung. We don't have brilliant treatments for it, so this trial and the other work that we're doing in Predict Meso is really focused on trying to develop new, better treatments.
Why is it so difficult to treat?
Well, I guess our biggest challenge is understanding the biology. So when we treat cancers successfully, we do that because we know why the cancer survives and we know how to kill it. In mesothelioma, we don't really know that in all the detail that we need. Part of the reason for that is that it's quite a rare cancer. So, the amount of research that's been done in it is less than, say, for example, lung cancer, which affects so many more people, and there's so much more time and money spent on trying to understand these things. So these sorts of developments that really, help us bridge that knowledge gap are really, really important and exciting. And
tell us about this new trial and who will be recruited onto it.
So this trial it's called MITOPE. I guess the novelty of this trial and others that we're trying to develop through Predict Meso is that I mentioned that the disease develops in the lining around the lung, and what we often have to do in that situation is to put a little drain into that space to let fluid come out, because patients can get very breathless because fluid gathers there. In this trial and others, we're going to use that device that we normally use just to drain fluid away to actually deliver the drug directly onto the surface of the cancer. And we hope that approach with this medication and others will be a success.
How hopeful are you?
We're always hopeful. I mean, in cancer research and other research, it's about hope is part of it. It's essential. There's some exciting data about this medicine in the laboratory and in other settings, and we've already done a study to understand what dose is safe and things. So this is the part of the trial now is to try and understand how well or otherwise does the drug work. We're hopeful, and we hope that certainly this medication and, as I say, other medicines that we deliver via this route are going to be a really important part of improving outcomes for patients with this disease.
Yeah, a lot of people who are affected by this disease, I mean, obviously a lot of them have passed away now. A lot of them will be coming towards the end of their lives. But do you feel that this research will nonetheless actually be maybe helpful for other related conditions?
Yeah, I mean, we do use this kind of approach to treat other kinds of diseases in that space in the chest. Things like infections and things. I think, although mesothelioma does tend to affect older patients, and as you say, many of those will be reaching towards the end of their life. Actually, asbestos is unfortunately still in our communities, and so we're seeing. Unfortunately, some younger people coming through with asbestos-related diseases, including meso. We've got, unfortunately, asbestos in our schools and many of our public buildings. And there's a global epidemic of meso on the horizon because countries like Russia and India and China are still using it.
Kevin, I'm going to need to leave it there. Sorry about that. Professor Kevin Blyth from the University of Glasgow. On digital...